Pass the sticks to the Nebraska Esports Squad as they take a journey through the wonderful world of video games. Right here on Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, it's just me in today for at least a little bit. I think some of us are running a little late. But I am Jaden Schilke. I'm the Call of Duty game manager with Nebraska Esports, and welcome to Big Red Esports. While we wait, I think I'm going to give a little bit of a tangent about the Colorado TC game. I have a couple thoughts so far. It's not necessarily done, and it's very early on. I think they just got to the second quarter. It's 7-7 last I heard. I got some buddies that are updating me. So that's always nice to have. And from what I saw, it looks like Colorado is allergic to anything to do with rushing, whether that's offensively or defensively. They did not like it at all. And that could be very beneficial for us if we decide to run Gabe Ervin, or if Anthony Grant gets a little bit better at ball security. This could even open up something like Ramir Johnson on third down plays as something that we could look forward to seeing, because the Colorado defense is very much meant to be a pass defensive heavy team. And that's mostly due to the fact that their D-line is really small and easy to kind of bully from what I could see with TCU. And TCU definitely took a step back this year. I think if they had the crew from last year, this game wouldn't be nearly as concerning as it is for us right now. I think it's just interesting because of how we expect TCU to be and how we expect everybody to kind of. So as we see, I see we have Sam. He's a little late, but that's okay. Just a few, I just started, so we're all good.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Not bad. Okay.
Get that headset on.
Get the headset.
I was just kind of going over Colorado game while we kind of wait, but I don't know where is Z in today, or is she?
No.
Okay, it's just us two then.
It's just us two.
All right, cool. That's good. But I don't know if you're watching the Colorado game at all before this.
No, I saw someone got hit hard. That's about it.
I didn't see that, actually. That might have been after I left for this.
It looked like he got knocked out. And
Colorado or TCU?
Colorado.
Like he just got slammed or what?
He didn't even have the ball.
Oh, you're talking about the wide receiver that just completely twisted his knee or something?
No,
that happened earlier.
I don't know. It was like he was supposed to block, and then he just stopped blocking, and the dude ran into him.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw it on Twitter. Maybe it wasn't this season. Who knows?
I don't know. Either way, as far as I know, it's tied right now, 7-7. Colorado does not do anything involving the run. A lot of their stuff is pass attack and pass defense. So they've really honed in on large passing plays as opposed to chipping away at it. A significant weakness that I saw was TCU would dump the ball to a rusher, or a wide receiver would take a route back behind the line, just grab it and just run with it. Easy 14 yards. Every time. They did a whole drive like that. Just back to back. And Colorado couldn't do a thing. But TCU decided to change it up and pass, and then Colorado read that and got the interception in the end zone.
So college football bad this season?
I don't think necessarily college football bad. I think Colorado football is going to be so 50-50 between their pass protect and their run protect that their defense is going to be so 50-50, because that D line is nothing, but their DBs are actually considerable. And then their O line is also our O line's probably better, because what they're doing essentially is a bunch of fast pass plays. And that is now what at least I'm expecting most of the scoring to come from is big but quick, 30-yard passes from Shedeur Sanders. That, I mean, TCU can't seem to get a tackle. There's at least one broken tackle each pass play, because they just slide right off the Colorado receivers. So that's part of the problem too. I think with TCU is this is like
So
live
it's
action.
definitely week 1.
It is definitely weak, and TCU definitely
'Cause
took a step back after losing a lot of
we
their
had a
starting
rough week
roster.
1. Sounds like Saturday morning's been a rough week 1.
Yeah, it's an interesting week 1. I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of change up, and I think that has a lot to do with the transfer portal.
Hopefully it gets a little better.
Yeah, it should, but yeah, I think we'll do fine going forward. It's going to be an interesting year for us, especially considering we all thought the Colorado game was guaranteed, and now I'm thinking it's more probably 70-30 us than it was before, like a 90-10 us. But we got to see who wins the game and who actually like performs for the full game, because Colorado's only had 2 quarters, and that could be their best 2 quarters of the year for all we know.
Possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be interesting, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think that. I'm not sure that the Huskers played well enough to be put down as a 90-10 to anyone.
No. But their run defense was insane. Like shutting down Minnesota to 55 yards. It's kind of hilarious. I'm going to be honest. It's comical considering every other statistic in that game, including turnovers. But that defense that we put up just kept us in the game because they could not get run going at all. Yeah. And it's
Interesting.
Minnesota, who's known for running. But that's all I really
Maybe.
got on the.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't feel like, I don't know, like it didn't feel like football. Like not
was
just
slow.
us, but like also Minnesota. Like it just was like
Sloppy.
Yeah, it felt like it was high school football.
Yeah. I think that's just week 1 stuff.
That's what I'm hoping, is that it's just week 1 stuff and that it'll figure itself out.
Yeah. And I mean, that's all I really got for week 1 football stuff. I love looking at football and like trying to see how it goes as the game goes on, and trying to see how our opponents play and stuff like that. But week 1, I mean, a lot of this stuff seems really fluky from a lot of teams. But if we're going to go off Colorado in general on what I see from their general design that's intended by Dion, we have a lot of holes that we can poke in their entire setup, especially with how Matt Rule has made our setup to be so adjustable to other people's defenses. They have clear gaps in what they have considered. And I think it's because Dion had the 1 year worth of transfers. He's like, all right, let's build up the DB room or something. Let's just like set up on these specific things that are probably more minded for his conference as opposed to anybody else. But I mean, everybody's going to see how bad the run game is for both offense and defense for Colorado. So I don't know what they're doing, but it's not that great.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, since you're here, we can actually talk games.
Video games.
Yeah. So you have your season starting next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm losing you, dude.
Yeah. See, yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
10th.
The
Or is it
10th.
No, the 9th.
The 9th. Yeah, it's
The
the
9th.
second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm
Saturday
losing
the
you.
9th. I think we play, if I remember right, 1 o'clock is our first game.
Ooh.
Tune in on Twitch, Nebraska Esports.
Yeah. Well, that'll be right during this too.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting.
Yeah.
It's also.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I'm not
that's also.
sure.
Wait, we might not actually have to, because next week, will we do? I guess, Nick, would you know if we would do shows during football games, or if that'd be
I'm
something?
not sure what the plan is there.
Yeah, because if we're conflicting with a big noon kickoff game, I'm not gonna
I
want to be here because I
think-
want to watch that game.
I
But
think when we first started the show, I don't think we were doing anything during football. I thought football kicked us off.
I think, yeah, I thought that was kind of the plan, was football kick us off for just that day.
Yeah.
which I'm fine with. Which also something else to note, the new building for the ticket that gets done soon, right?
Yeah, we're hoping for the beginning of the first home game. So hopefully the 15th, 16th, whatever that is of September, we'll see. If everything goes according to plan. Of course, there's always last minute hiccups that could come up, but that's the plan.
Okay, cool. Because that'd be something like I could walk there. You
Yeah.
know, I wouldn't have to get in my car. Which, oh no, get in my car. But yeah, that'll be nice, I think, and it looks really nice. I've seen it on Twitter and stuff. The pictures of like the outside
Oh, yeah.
sign and everything. It looks sick.
Yeah, that's the plan. Is hopefully, for the students, we have all these student athlete shows that we try to give to everybody. It'd be closer there and
Yeah.
more visitable, and so people can come and check it out. And who knows, maybe we get some sort of tournament down there. If we get some TVs in there or something someday.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'd be so down for that, or even just like 1v1 one of the other guys. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, man, I'm good at COD, or
Yeah.
something. So yeah, it'll be fun, and it looks really spacious. I walked by it on my way to one of my buddies' places for the game on Thursday, and I was like, man, that actually looks like really good sized.
Yeah.
Downtown, you don't usually think like, oh, you got a lot of big size like spaces to buy out. That looks really good.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I want to see how it kind of all looks once it's all finished.
Mhm.
But there's they have got a lot of plans for it, so we're gonna see
Yeah.
how it plans out. Either way, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting just like looking at it, and especially the sign. You feel
Yeah.
it, and you're like, oh man, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad. I mean, we shortly about a year ago we did a logo change. We're sticking to that logo because I'm sure we put some good money in that signage now.
Yeah.
So that's the logo.
Sweet. It's a good logo too.
Yeah.
I like it. How it's like ticket shaped and all that. It's really good.
Yeah.
It is very clever. So, not a lot in terms of game news for me, at least. At least esports related. I don't have anything really
Yeah.
crazy. Starfield comes out soon,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You can play it currently if you have the Ultimate Deluxe Edition or whatever.
Really?
However, the Ultimate Deluxe Edition is not on Game Pass. This is something we could talk about.
Okay.
So Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass, it's a subscription service where you pay $15 a month, something like that, 10, 15, and you get access to like 200 something games. Now, a lot of them are like really small indie company games that you've never ever heard of. And then some of them are those bigger games like Halo, like Doom, like Rainbow Six Siege, that kind of stuff. But they have a tendency that usually on the Game Pass, it's the deluxe or like the Ultimate Edition. It's always like the highest tier. That way you get like all of the starter stuff and all that. Like
Yeah.
normally it'd be $90, but because you're paying for the subscription service, and usually it, in fairness, usually the game comes on after, so it's late. It doesn't come on right away.
Hmm.
But yeah, Starfield isn't doing that. They're just doing the standard edition is on Game Pass. And I'm not sure what else it gets you. I just had a friend that was pretty upset about that, especially considering like on Game Pass for the last couple months, it's been saying that it's, it comes to Game Pass on whatever 9/1 yesterday when the
Thing went
early
live.
access launched for the Ultimate players, and then they just changed it to be like 9.6 now, I think.
That's
9.5.
That is kind of weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a little funky, and then I get why they're doing it because you still want your sales, and it's supposed to be one of the bigger games of this year.
Yeah.
Assuming Call of Duty does its normal thing
Yeah.
where it just kind of drops a game every year and somehow just keeps selling them.
Dude.
But yeah, so Starfield will be interesting because that's like a space exploration game. I'm not 100% sure all of it. I do know that apparently there's supposed to be upwards of 1,000 visible planets,
Yeah.
which means that it's kind of massive. And I can't remember, is it multiplayer stuff at all, or is it all exclusively single player?
I think it's single player, if I remember right. I think it's like literally a Skyrim with 1,000 planets,
Gotcha.
like No Man's Sky, but limited to single player to make it more feasible.
Yeah.
With the promises that No Man's Sky can launch.
Yeah, and I think it's supposed to be what's it called? Procedurally generated.
Yeah.
So everything is 100% different So like my playthrough would be 100% different than Jaden's playthrough. Like my starting planet might be on fire and falling apart. Jaden might be on Earth 2.0 looking like he's in the Garden of Eden.
Hey, it's just luck.
Because that happened to me in No Man's Sky with my friends. I
Oh my
showed up,
God.
the planet had max thermal and like half the radiation. So I'm just dying off spawn. And I'm like, they need to fix this now.
Yeah, it's No Man's Sky, especially on Lost, when all those problems were like
yeah.
major. That was so tough. I go back every now and then, but it's just not a game that I can really like
Yeah.
get into.
I get it, it's for me it's kind of like Destiny and the other games
Yeah.
where if you started right away and you played it all the way through, it can be very, very fun.
Mhm.
But if you start and stop or join in late, it takes a little bit. It takes a lot more effort to get into it because there's so much new content
Yeah.
that you don't know where to go. Like that it's not a linear game, which I think a lot of people enjoy, that it's not forcing you to go this path to this path to this path to this path, but like for me it's the paralysis of choice where it's like, I've got so many choices and then you choose one, but then it turns out it's the wrong one because it's way more advanced than what you know.
Yeah.
And then it kind of throws off the experience, and so then you quit and then you come back later because it's still a good game and that's why you come back. But
Yeah, I get you. That's something with I'm glad that I played Destiny as much as I did, because if I had to go into it like starting now,
yeah,
I wouldn't. I mean, hey, there's like the paywall. If for anything that is that long standing, except for No Man's Sky, in terms of the amount of expansions that are put out and the amount of things that are put out, it's so hard to get into things, especially Destiny, because all the expansions are still, unless you get them on a sale, which is more and more common, especially for like any outdated expansion. So like right now, I think it's Witch Queen and back to, I think it's the last. So like Witch Queen to Shadowkeep is bundled into like a $70 bundle together, which
that's full price.
that's full price, but that's also Shadowkeep. Wait,
Shadowkeep,
Shadowkeep,
Lightfall,
Shadowkeep,
Witch
Beyond
Queen.
Light, Witch Queen. Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, Witch Queen. Yeah, 3.
Yeah, 3 that are normally 30, so you get $20 off.
No. So
Or Beyond Light was bigger, wasn't it? So it was like 40.
no, Witch Queen was 40. Beyond Light was 30.
Okay.
So Shadowkeep, Beyond Light were both 30, and then Witch Queen was 40. So
you're
getting,
saving $10.
No, you're saving 30 if you bought them separately.
Yeah, I guess.
And then you get, all 3 years worth of content, except for the season stuff. But they put all the like important seasonal gear in terms of weapons, like the exotics and stuff, into rotation as soon as you get those expansions. So like, and then you can get any of the important gear. I think there's like a couple weapons from each expansion that are decent, right, for end game content. And then the good thing about it is like, say to do a Destiny night, like a Destiny raid night, and then have, say, let's say Amon streamed Destiny 2, right? We did Vault of Glass. He wouldn't need to pay a penny because Vault of Glass, Crota's End, and King's Fall are all free.
King's Fall, woo.
King's Fall is probably the best raid in the game still.
King's Fall is the best raid they ever made.
It really is.
And then they started getting a little too outlandish with their mechanics.
Yeah.
Which then made it weird. It made it a lot harder to remember. King's Fall was a good length.
Mm-hmm.
It was the kind of thing where, what was it, like an hour and a half straight through when it was first kind of around before everyone was
before it got optimized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like now, even like, well, with power creep and everything, I'm down to, I think, 45 minutes.
Yeah. I think it was like an hour and a half straight through.
Yeah.
So it could be broken into 2 sessions. I mean,
not that
I had an hour max time limit
in
high school. So
that's tragic.
Yeah. So like raids, that's part of the reason why I never did raids was because raids
take longer.
Yeah. And so I can't commit that time to it. But it was good. I mean, King's Fall it was a well done raid, and it followed. It was when the story wasn't outlandish either.
Yeah,
It was
And-
the dad of the guy that you kill earlier, and one of the monsters, and he's just like, "Hey, that wasn't very cool that you killed my son, so I'm gonna just teleport you to my ship and kill you now."
Yeah, so yeah,
So, but then you just kind of
you
pull
kill
the
him.
Una reverse, and
Yeah, and then he falls into the
what was
orbit of Jupiter.
the Cyclops' name in that?
Oh,
I remember being stuck on that one for so long.
oh, what's his name?
It started with a G or something.
Yeah, I forget off the top of my head. There was the War Priest, that ogre.
War Priest was fun.
War
That was
Priest
a
is
pretty
still fun.
simple mechanic. It
Yeah.
was just what
So you had
it was
you had
just
3 plates.
stay behind the things, step on the plates in order, and then hide behind the rocks.
Yeah,
when he
when the damage
unleashes
phase
the power
ends.
of the sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then
Or
Gorgoroth,
close.
Golgoroth,
Yeah, that's
Golgoroth. That's
yeah.
what it is. Yeah,
Yeah, that one
So-
was a little weird because you had to like drop an orb on his head and get him to stand
Yeah.
at the pool of juice.
So that one is you have 2 guys standing on a bridge, and then you have the other 4 that are on DPS until like the last
Oh
couple
yeah, because
things.
you had to grab aggro.
Yeah, you had
And
to, so
'cause
2
you can
people
only
had,
shoot him in the back.
2 people had to trade aggro back and forth, and then you have these like spheres on the ceiling that you have to break, and it drops the liquid down.
Think
That
of,
gives you
like,
bonus damage.
Think of like a thinner Orby or like a boba ball. That's what it was on the.
Yeah, essentially. And like you break it, and then you use top DPS to shoot right into Golgoroth's chest because the liquid you're standing in opens it up. And then I don't know if this was. Oh yeah, it was. So then a random person could get on every different pool of the liquid, could get basically a white mechanic, quote unquote, where like I think it's like overpowering light or something, and essentially after 5 seconds with it explodes, and if you're around people it'll kill those people, but it does damage the boss if you stand next to the boss. So
Oh.
you use that for DPS as well, essentially, and you do this enough times, I think if you're using the right stuff you can get it done in one run, like
Yeah.
one phase through.
I think there one's kind of timing was like 3-4 phases was the average.
Yeah, back in D1 because
Yeah.
that was when I forget. They didn't nerf Black Hammer yet, did they?
I don't know.
No, they did. They had to. That's why they did the light thing, where you had to that's why they changed how leveling worked, was literally because of Black Hammer. So then they could basically sunset guns. So then you couldn't take them into the raid because they couldn't reach the power cap.
Hmm.
So, long story short,
But now you can just infuse everything.
well, yes, also they did. I mean, that was D1.
Oh, okay.
So like there were power caps on guns before you even like they had level caps, and then they basically kept those caps on for those guns and basically do what every other game does in the MMO space. And basically every time you ditch all the old gear. The problem was with Destiny, they're actual full-on items and not just stats on the sheet to change stuff. And like they don't have like transmog for weapons. So you can't like have Black Hammer and have it look like No Land Beyond, as much as I'd love that.
That'd be an interesting combo. I don't know how I feel about that one.
It'd be interesting.
Well,
But
then after Golgoroth, you do the maze. right,
no, the
the-
maze goes to Golgoroth. So you go from totems, or like you go from the intro where it's
Yeah.
like the thing back and forth.
Directly to War Priest. Or no, is that
No,
that's
because you go to the ship. You go to the ship. You go to the ship thing, and then you go to
I forgot
totems.
about ships. That was
Yeah.
because it was a good jumping
It was,
puzzle
yeah,
too.
it was
It
just
wasn't
it was a jumping
hard.
puzzle. Yeah,
It wasn't hard, but you had to remember where you're going.
yeah. You had to memorize the path.
Yeah.
And then you do the totems, and that's where you go back and forth, and you basically have like a cycle.
Yeah.
It's so hard to explain that.
And there's
Like
a-
you basically just
I
get
hated that.
you
Because
get kills, and then
every
you dump
time you
them
would
in
try
the
to
middle.
bring someone new in,
Oh my god!
and they would have
it
no
ruins
idea what's
the-
happening. And you're like, get in
Yeah.
the flow, watch what everyone else is doing, and
And
just
Well, we usually
it's like
stick
juggling.
we stick the new person on killing the thing that drops the buff. That you have to grab like when
No, in
you
the mid,
like on the two
little
top mid
wizards.
things.
I-
Yeah.
was it wizards?
Yeah, wizards. I think they switch. So you kill the wizard and it spawns a Taken Captain, and then the Taken Captain drops the buff, and then the person in the cycle comes up, grabs it, and goes down to be able to trade off the other buff. So then that person can actually go and dump their essence into the middle to break the hive ritual.
Okay. Can
And
we also
then-
talk about how cool the Taken were?
Oh my god! Yes.
When that dropped, that was so cool. But actually, I think we're going to talk about the Taken after a short break.
Indeed.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate and holiday barbecue needs. Enjoy all natural whole but for just $1.69 per pound. USDA whole brisket for $3.99 per pound. And 30 packs of Bush Black for only $15.88 when you buy $4.01 in fresh meat. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn in Lincoln.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The price for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito 2-meat hatchback burrito gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
Get ready for an unforgettable night at Ignite Lincoln 15. On September 14th, Rococo Theater will come alive with captivating stories from diverse voices that inspire change and spark connection. You'll hear from 12 passionate speakers, including our 5 nonprofit finalists, who are making a real impact. Be part of this remarkable event that celebrates the power of storytelling. Secure your spot now by purchasing tickets at ignitelincoln.org and join us in creating a brighter future together. Don't miss your chance to experience Ignite Lincoln 15, a night of inspiration, community, and possibility.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. Big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Acres, your John Deere dealers, offering hot financing on all new compact tractors. At one time, get 0% interest for 84 months when you buy any new John Deere compact tractor. And with a variety of attachments, you'll make quick work of chores around your acreage. From mowing to grading and moving large loads, Acres has a John Deere tractor to handle your toughest project. Don't delay. Visit your local Acres store to take advantage of this great offer. Acres, solutions for every field. Offer expires September 30th, 2023. Subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing. At 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they can deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today. Great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Big Red Esports on 93.7 Edition at theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back. Ready Sports. You know what it is. Sam and I today. So we were talking, kind of over break and before about Taken in Destiny.
Yeah, Taken was a new alien race. Not really. It was like a new modifier. So like previously, they had just introduced. I guess they didn't even introduce any new species. It was just like the three main ones.
Right.
Yeah, the
And
beginning
then,
of the game, they had the Hive, which were like bug-looking guys, absolutely vile. You had the Cabal, which were like slug-looking guys. Those guys were also ugly.
Yeah.
And then you had the Fallen, not the Fallen.
Yeah, the Fallen. You also had the Vex.
And I forgot about the Vex.
So you had 4.
Yeah, so you did have 4. And then you had but basically, King's Fall is Oryx, who is like the king of the Fallen, and the Fallen, not the Fallen.
the
He's
Hive.
the king of the. Is it the Hive? I thought he was the king of the Taken. The Taken
Both.
king.
Both. He's a Hive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
he's
thought
a Hive.
he was just like.
So
I thought the Hive followed the darkness, and then Oryx was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take the Taken. These guys are mine now."
So I know way too much about the lore. I'm going to give you like
read
a
all
synopsis.
the pages.
I did. I still do. So essentially, Oryx and his siblings are the 3 rulers. Well, now
Was
there's
the-
only 1, but
The witch, what's her name?
Savathun.
She was one.
Yeah,
of the
she
siblings.
was.
Okay.
So we killed one in Witch Queen, and then
Well,
Oryx
that's
was
after.
well, yeah, that's way after this. But Oryx essentially is the king. He's the guy. He's the one that rules over all of them.
Okay.
And his son was Crota, who we had just taken down 6 months prior. And essentially, story of Oryx in a minute is he came from a race with his siblings where they were really, really short-lived, really brittle, I guess, as people. And essentially, they were supposed to be given the light, but then the darkness tempted them, and they became the Hive. And then they had these like basically worms inside them that needed to constantly be fed power through slaying. So they had to go throughout they had to conquer the galaxy. And
Is that what the little worms are that crawl around?
yes,
So I should feel bad when I shoot them.
no, you shouldn't.
Okay.
Because they are literally so every hive starts out as a worm, but then there's like worms inside of the gods, right? The hive gods. And they constantly ask for more power. So Savathun's worm fed off of trickery and deception. Oryx is fed off conquest and the the gaining of knowledge. And then Xivu Arath, who's the last one standing now.
We haven't seen him yet.
We haven't seen her. Is the god of war. So her entire thing is death entirely.
Destiny
But it's not
3.
even. It's not even like us. Well, it's not even just like her and her forces. It's any sort of conflict gives her power. So yeah, essentially we go we take down Crota because Crota was chilling on the moon, and we're like, "Hey, that's our moon," you know, step off. And then his dad's like, "I'm mad now," you know. He shows up in the system, is like, "Hey, there's the Traveler. That's really weird," and decides to try to conquer the system, and we stop him in the raid, and then he falls into the orbit of Saturn, and we end up actually fighting by his body in a recent dungeon.
Oh,
It,
that's
like,
kind of sick.
yeah, it crashed into one of the moons.
Then we fight his. No, the reanimation was Crota. Never
Yeah,
mind.
we've refought Crota multiple times. But
I remember.
yeah, so Oryx on the journey to come into our system and whatever, but this is millennia, talking millions of years. He eventually gained so much power that he challenges the worm that, like the hive worm god that gave him his worm, and kills him. And essentially, the Witness, who's like a newer form of the darkness, I guess, approaches Oryx and says, "You have done what is the like darkness incarnate. Here is this new power," and it is literally just taking. And the power to take is to basically override any being's will with Oryx's own. And so the Taken are all basically just extensions of Oryx, and he gains more and more power because he takes more and more beings.
Yeah, and they look sick.
They
because
do.
they have like this like astrally black and white kind of
Wispy.
yeah.
It's really cool.
And the Thrall are terrifying because they no longer walk; they just teleport.
Oh my god. Well, they walk so slow, but then they just
Yeah.
like warp at like 20 meters. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then there's just 1,000 of them on top of you, and you just kind of die because of it.
Well, yeah, and then they have
the
like a,
Taken phalanxes with their shields,
they could just
and they
boop
just
you.
boop you and launch you across the map, and you're
Yeah.
just it's over. I don't know. It was fun because it wasn't just okay. We're doing the same thing with the same guys.
They
like
just look different.
right.
But
They changed small mechanics about them, so they were still basically the same.
Yeah.
But they did a couple different things, and it made it feel like it was an entirely new thing.
well, even like Taken Scions, you know, they duplicate.
Oh,
They
that's right.
split. So like they'll always conveniently split when you're about to kill one of them. So then you have two, and then you eventually kill the one that was low, and then you have another, and then they'll try to like keep splitting and splitting. And if you just leave them unchecked, it will be the end of your run. And then there's the phalanxes, but there's also like Taken Vandals that have different weaponry, and they can like spawn this bubble that you can't pierce.
Did Vex ever get taken? I don't
Yes.
remember.
So Taken Hobgoblins are the main one.
Oh
So
yeah.
they shoot out like these huge missiles, I guess, is the best way to put it. But then there's Taken Centurions that shoot out like those Axion darts, like the darkness balls that follow you and eventually do a lot of damage if you get hit by it.
Yeah,
Those
I'm remembering some of these things. I don't know. It was
They
it was
were-
very good.
No, it was great. Like it was just
And
like
they haven't
a
really
bunch
done
of different
anything
challenges.
like that since.
Siva in
Was
Rise of Iron.
Siva all that
So
different?
they basically did another iteration of the Fallen with Siva mechanics, but only for them. So like Vandals, if you headshot kill them, they would have this like think the moths before the moths in Witch Queen, right? Because the Siva cluster would start going toward you, and if you didn't destroy it, it would actually get you one shot every time. But then there's like
I don't recall this, but I don't think I played much.
Rise of Iron. Oh, I
Right,
played a lot of Rise of Iron.
I didn't play much. I didn't play deep enough
Oh, okay.
into that to get to like I never got Outbreak Perfected, and I never did Wrath of the Machine. I don't even
what a great year.
remember Wrath of the Machine.
Really?
I don't even think I've ever seen it.
Dude, okay.
And now
Such
I'm
a good
making him
raid.
want to run me through all the legacy stuff.
Yeah, I actually would. I would resubscribe to PlayStation Plus. Are you on PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox, but PC.
But there's no D1 on PC.
I did not think about that.
Yeah. It'd have to be console play.
I
And it's
don't
locked
I
at
don't
30
have
frames.
D1 on Xbox One. I have D1 on 360
It should be
and
cross
D2.
platform.
Is it? I don't know.
I
Whatever.
think so. Either way, I mean, we can figure it out if we want to do that. That'd be fun. But I do want to try to get like the club to do some Destiny events. I think that'd be fun, like some monthly like Destiny Red Night and put it on stream or whatever, just for fun. Because I mean, even doing like Grandmaster Nightfalls with them, you know, weekly or whatever.
We can do light blades. Not that hard.
The Light Blade,
Yeah, that's not
the
that hard.
Grandmaster Light
Yeah.
Blade.
Grandmaster Night Blade's not even that hard.
Okay.
It's the easiest one.
All
in the
right,
entire
buddy.
game.
All right, buddy. Yeah, sure.
That's the one that ends with like the giant circle,
The circular
little
room,
thing
and
in the
then
middle, and he just teleports.
yeah.
I mean, they call it jumping, but he just kind of jumps
Well,
across the entire map right next to you, and then
Yeah.
proceeds to beat the crap out of you.
He jumps, but then he also can vanish and reappear, and that is probably one of my favorite bosses, like the original version, because of the ambience and because of just everything that they made him do. And he was the only one at the time too. And then they slowly made more and more dark blades that weren't as powerful as he was, or like weren't as hard. No, but that'd be fun. I think doing Destiny events would be fun.
Yeah.
And
I
we
think it'd be a
keep
little
it, like, free to
difficult because
play.
you would have to find the people
Yeah.
that know the game a little bit or have played a certain chunk of the game.
Well, we've already got at least 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And even then, we just do like, say, the free raids, and all those would be low light level demand. Like Crota, as soon as challenge mode's over in Crota, that's going to go down to like 1600. I'm pretty sure. Like anybody
What's
can do it.
minimum now?
1600.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you could literally make an account,
Literally make an account and
play
go
the
through it.
tutorial, and then
Yeah, go in it with stuff and the beginner shotgun and rocket launcher combo. Yeah.
that cost the
They're-
best. That gun was so broken in PvP
Yeah.
for so long.
It was nice.
It was gnarly
He was
how
clean
good
with
that
it.
gun was. It's the first gun you get in the entire game, and it's like an old age, like M16 kind of style, M4 kind of
It's
style
like an
gun.
M4 mixed kind of with an
And
AK,
everything else is like futuristic laser weapons.
but that
But
was
for
like,
some reason, the M4 gun went crazy in the multiplayer.
well, and then they made the exotic version, and they're bringing it back, by the way, in Final
They-
Shape
They made an exotic version.
in Rise of Iron. They made an exotic version,
Oh, I can't remember that.
So-
Didn't it fix the crack in the thing?
so you could either have it cracked still, or you could use a new version, like a clean version, and then you could also change between 450, 600, and 900 RPM. You could also change it into a burst rifle
My.
or a scout rifle. You could change the different stocks and the mag size. It had literally every single thing that you could customize to make it any single archetype you wanted.
Yeah,
It was nice. Like I ran
that's
it.
a lot.
I mean, but it was the only one that did it, right? It was the only one that was that customizable,
Yeah,
and that was its entire thing, was that it was that customizable.
I
And they're
suppose.
bringing it back for Final Shape.
Yeah, and then what was the no Time to Explain
That was the pulse from like
Yeah.
D1 Year One.
from The Stranger?
Yeah, you took like the
But-
legendary version and made it exotic.
Yeah, didn't they give
That's-
the exotic to the cancer kid
That's
initially,
a
and then they were like, "Oh, people also want this," and so it was like a one-off, and then they kind of just
no, not
Or that was a
necessarily.
different-
So there's No Time to Explain, and then there's the like the counterpart, and they released them at the same time. But they gave the one to only that guy, and it has specific perks that only that guy could use in D1.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that transferred to D2 though.
I see.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but Final Shape's going to be fun, I think.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
as long as they don't make the same mistake that they did with the last one, Lightfall.
Oh my, yeah.
Because Lightfall, I don't know if it was Nimbus or what, but it was painful.
That oh man, the dialogue that they
The
okay, that was-
dialogue was rough.
it was it's the only expansion that's not taking it that like too serious, like, or hasn't taken it serious enough. Some of the others take it too seriously,
Yeah,
but then with Nimbus,
this one, like his like father figure, his mentor dies, and he's like,
well, that happened.
"Well, I mean, well, what can you do about it, guys?" Like, and
Yeah.
it's like, dude,
Well,
it
that
shows
just happened.
like literally, it is like back
Yeah.
to back. It's not even like he has a little moment in the cutscene when he died, and then you like go to talk to him. like right after, and he's just super happy and chipper and making jokes about it, and it's like
That's not
seems off.
yeah. But the other problem was how much narratively they pushed Strand and basically shoved it down your throat. It's like the entire
Yeah,
campaign
they
was
should have
only about
just
Strand.
should have made the first mission like they do.
Yeah.
With make it a Strand mission and let you choose if you want to run it, but it'll be a lot harder to do the campaign if you don't use it.
Yeah, they
But like
shoved
they
it.
forced parts to require Strand.
Yeah, and I
Like you
know,
can't clear this gap without using Strand.
and to make a great segue, I know you guys don't necessarily like ads, but we have to force you to listen to some ads on this break. We'll be right back.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs. Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas. Maybe it's the roar of fans here at the track, or the anticipation of the playoffs as drivers fight to move on to the next round and keep their championship hopes alive. Maybe it's the pulse of the heartland, the thrill of speed, or the sounds of grills sizzling in campgrounds. Whatever it is, it will be one memorable weekend. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Giverito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation through the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Happy. Specials through September 5th are $2 off 8-ounce grass-finished sirloins. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of DHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Beef, Yours Cheese Plate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. 402-4700.
This is Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I've never done a welcome back. I'm gonna do it. Welcome back. I'm here with. I'm not going to say your name. My name is Sam. I'm the production manager for the Nebraska Esports, as well as Overwatch game manager.
I'm Jaden Shilke. I'm the game manager for Call of Duty with Nebraska Esports.
And we've been talking an awful lot about Destiny. Probably of the 45 minutes this show has been running, 40 of those minutes have been Destiny 1. But I think that's just, I think for me, Destiny was kind of what got me really into playing video games. So
yeah,
it's a nostalgia thing. And then like they're now releasing they're re-releasing some of like their greatest hits in the game. So I mean, now we just need Sparrow Racing, but like the Valentine's Day one, not Destiny 2 one.
They didn't even do it in Destiny 2. It was Rise of Iron.
Was it
They-
Rise of
yeah,
Iron?
so they did it over Valentine's Day, and then they brought it back the next summer.
The Valentine's Day one was so much fun.
It was. They
Because then they also had that new Sparrow,
yeah,
and it was 20 speed faster than everyone else, so it was literally pay to win.
Yeah.
Because it was part of the expansion. Was you also got that Sparrow, and it could do flips.
yeah, it was sick.
It was and then they got a little funky with their Sparrows, and then they started making exotic Sparrows.
Yeah. Well,
So I don't
now
think it
it's
works
all
as well.
exotic Sparrows.
That's what I mean.
So, yeah.
Sparrows are the little motorcycle, like hover bike you fly. You
Yeah,
don't really go up in
speeder
the
bike.
air. Yeah, it's like a speeder from Star Wars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
W.
What was huh?
Said W.
Yeah, W. Well, unlike us on Thursday, but it's okay. We'll live.
But us on Wednesday.
That's a mad W. You go?
No. I was at work.
Dude. It was good. I was in the
Yeah,
van for it.
was-
It was nice.
It was busy, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah, I
The
wonder.
chicken restaurant gets a little busy during game days. So I was
Yeah.
looking at the schedule, and I'm seeing a 6 p.m. on September 16th, a home football game.
Yeah.
First off, that's the first home football game.
Yeah. And you work at the chicken shop.
And I work
right
at the
next
chicken
to it.
shop a block away.
Yeah.
And my shift is 5:30. So I'll miss a good chunk of the beginning. But I'm going to have the fun back end, I think.
Yeah, you're gonna get the people that leave after third quarter when they say there's no hope.
Yeah, at least I don't have to close anymore. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
good for you.
Saturdays. On Saturdays.
On
It's the
Saturdays.
same time,
Mhm.
but I don't actually have to do the closing task because they are now open longer.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So, yeah,
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
thriving.
Yeah.
I
just having
think.
it.
We were just finishing something last
Like before
right
break.
before break.
Uh,
We're talking about.
we were talking about Lightfall.
Oh
the
yeah,
campaign.
yeah. How that fourth
Um,
strand.
Yeah. Well, and then those 2 seasons weren't great either.
I've never paid for a season.
Really? I don't blame you.
Why would you make me pay $30 for the expansion and then also pay $20 for the seasons?
They're 10 a piece.
But
yeah. Oh no, I know.
together.
Yeah.
Because that makes it a 50 season. So I'm basically buying a brand new game every 3 months, 4 months.
I mean, when they're $10 a piece, and I just get like the deluxe pack, for like
Oh, you
expansion,
get,
and
like,
then the
the
next
year
4.
total?
Yeah, the full year. I do the full year.
So
like in one
you
go.
spend like 130.
No,
No?
it's only like 90 to 100.
No.
It's not
thought it was
130.
Up there.
No, because like the expansion is like full price game at this point, $50 to $60, and with Final Shape, it's
Final
60.
Shape is going to be
I mean,
a $70 expansion. I can
well,
feel it.
it's 60.
Did they confirm 60? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they've already got it on. Yeah.
I'm about to say, everyone else is doing $69.99, so I would not be surprised if they tried to do $69.99.
No, it's just 60. But what they are doing is they're changing away from seasons in Final Shape, and they're doing these standalone like season thing, like story things.
So they're going back to the D1 way of doing seasons,
Kind of.
the superior way.
So they're calling them acts, and then they've got chapters inside the acts. So there's 3
Oh.
acts a year.
If I have to pay for chapters, I'm definitely not.
You're
playing
not
the
paying
game.
for chapters, you're paying for the act.
Okay.
So each I might look this up. I might look this up. But what I saw was essentially we're going down from 4. If we're gonna think of acts like a season, because that's essentially what it is. An act is what they're just renaming it to.
Oh, an act is a season. The act is not like Witch Queen would be an act.
No, Witch Queen
And
would
then a
not be an
season
act.
is a chapter.
So these are like the year, like through the year content after you get done with the expansion, but they're more standalone because of however they're doing it. Hold on, let me final shape.
That's weird. I don't know. I've always kind of like I get and I understand, they need to monetize their game, especially like with live service to keep it going, and so they can keep making content. But it feels like their monetization is really aggressive.
It is and isn't,
because it feels like it's like you pay $30 every 3 or 4 months, and then you're paying $10 every month and a half.
Yeah.
And so it feels like it's just trying to get everything. And then I think one of the things for me is that if I buy the newest one, I don't get access to the old stuff.
Yeah.
I think if I buy the newest one, I should get access to everything behind it.
Yeah.
Because it's not new anymore. It's not special. They've made the money they're going to make on it. Because realistically, anyone who's hopping in at Witch Queen doesn't care about Forsaken. It doesn't want to go back and pay for Forsaken. Actually, this is one of the main reasons why I stopped Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So I played Destiny 2 on my Xbox.
Yeah.
Fun game. Loved it. Swapped to Destiny 2 on PC. Equally fun. However,
yeah,
I had to make a new account because my brother wanted to use the
Oh,
old stuff.
yeah.
All cool. Just fine with that. But my weapon of choice was the Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
However, you have to do Forsaken to get the Ace of Spades.
Yeah, and Forsaken's gone now.
Forsaken was locked behind a paywall.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
bought Witch Queen thinking I would get Forsaken and Shadowkeep and Beyond Light.
Well, Forsaken's also gone. Like they changed how you get Ace.
Yeah, they changed it like last year sometime.
I think 2 years ago now. They changed it.
I feel like I remember seeing it get changed into a thing. I don't know. I've always been a big hand cannon guy.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I like my 180s, and then they just
Really.
and then they got rid of like all of the good 180s, or they dropped them down to like that's a 160 now.
There's no 160s, so there's 120, 140, and 180. They
140,
got rid of
that's what I meant.
150s, and
Yeah.
basically all the 150s are now 140s.
Yeah.
But
Because Ace of Spades was I want to say it was 150, and they dropped it to 140.
yes,
Thorn was a 180, and they dropped it to a 140.
it was a 180 in D1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
They
it was the
busted-
second most busted gun in the game.
Yeah.
The
Besides,
first most was Vexman class, and that will always be the most busted weapon. in the game.
Well, but we're also but when we say busted, we mean inside the meta. But if we're gonna go to like busted gun, you remember the Warmind fusion rifle? Not Sleeper, the other one.
No, because Warmind wasn't. That was
Well, it wasn't. No, I'm not talking expansion. I'm just talking like the exotic fusion rifle you could get in D1 Year 1.
there was an
That was like
exotic fusion
Rasputin
rifle?
themed. Yeah, pretty sure.
No idea.
Either
Pull
way.
up the wiki.
Oh boy.
Pull
Okay,
up the
so
wiki.
before we get too far off track, we're gonna take a break and I'll elaborate on the final shape and its new archetype when we get back from break. So
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs. Great Deals is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs, trucks, and trailers from pole utility to full-size semi. Great performs provider for fleet companies like ARI and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1992, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Great Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Rashawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrantExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, oh, big Brant.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing. At 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GE Landscape Supply for more info. 467-1627.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. Campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Acton Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and pensions. Created a positive team environment for years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Tailored Lights is your go-to local manufacturer and installer of the best landscape lighting. Tailored Lights is excited to highlight the architecture of your home or business and provide a warm environment that feels safe. And for those outside the Lincoln area, they do ship across the country and are happy to work with anyone near or far with lights anywhere from 18 inches to 110. Enhance your appeal with an exquisite tailored light today. Call 402-432-2572 or go to tailoredlights.com.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's plumbing.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49. And Wings flavor gets its wing. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
This is Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back, second hour. Good old time. This is basically been a Destiny episode.
Yeah.
At this point, we've gone an hour and it's been mostly Destiny.
Yeah, no Z or no Lexi, and we just talk about Destiny.
Yeah, it all goes out the window. So, quick recap on what we were talking about before. We talked about a lot of like Destiny lore and all that, and we ended up. I talked about some story stuff. We talked about some of the issues of the game and the future of the game. So, to elaborate, the new like yearly structure of Destiny after this year. So this is the last year we'll have seasons, and it's the last time we'll have 4 seasons. Well, I guess seasons, quote unquote. We're going from that to 3 chapters, and then each chapter has its own set of acts, and they're 6-week acts that will basically have their own quest lines, their own story beats, and that chapter will all be one large story beat And
Will they all have their own raids and kind of thing?
they won't necessarily have their own raids.
Or is the raids just
The raids
there'll
and
be
done
one
so.
raid? It'll just be the final shape raid.
So right now,
Surely.
Final Shape will launch with the Witness raid.
What if the Witness raid just takes all of the best parts of the previous raids? You have
It could.
so you go back and you get like the Gorgon maze.
Yeah.
You grab Golgoroth. You grab, and so you just go 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, and they just and for the first half of it, that's what it is. Like just the first half is that, and then the back half is the new part.
It could.
I think that'd be so sick.
It'd be
Because
cool.
it'd be a
It's gotta
cool
be
way to hit
nostalgia trip.
nostalgia. Yeah, it'd be a cool way to hit all the nostalgia, especially if because this is their way of wrapping up year 9.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think it'd be a cool way for them to be like, do these. It's not gonna be hard because you know the mechanics will just be upscaled.
Yeah.
But they take one from each of the 7 raids, 8 raids.
Well, are we counting the raid layers? Like
No.
from Callus?
No,
Okay. No.
like Callus is. I'm just counting Leviathan.
You just count. Okay, so
I'm counting just the base
is it?
one.
Yeah, I guess it'd be 8.
Yeah, something
what is
like
that?
that.
Like Vault, King's Fall, Crota.
You're going way out of order.
Well, I know. I'm just thinking. I'm going from. Yeah, I'm just going here. So Vault, Crota, King's Fall, Wrath, Callus,
Last Wish.
Last Wish. We can't count Scourge. Well, no, Scourge. We could count Scourge, right?
Because it's Scourge raid.
Scourge of the Past. It's that giant mech.
Oh yeah.
So what's that? 7, and then the Beyond Light raid.
What was the Beyond Light raid?
Lost. Now let's go Shanix.
I was about to
Shanix.
say,
Golos was Prison of Elders. That's a
Prison
raid.
One of the best. Like it was a weird PvE like arena round base thing that they did.
It was cool though,
and it worked really well. The story put it in.
There's rumors they're bringing it back.
They should.
It really should. But
I would reinstall the game for Prison of Elders.
I respect that. So we got 8 right now. We just hit Beyond Light. So we're not going to count reprisals for obvious reasons. They're just the same raid brought back from D1. So
there's 8 raids. So there'll be a 9th raid.
Garden of Salvation. I almost forgot that Garden of Salvation, which was Shadowkeep. That's the that's 9, and then we go from Beyond Light to Witch Queen. That was what's his name? Rolk, First Disciple, 10. And then you've got
Never heard of that one.
Well, that was the Witch Queen raid.
Never heard of that one.
Really?
I played the Witch Queen, never even heard of it.
So like at the end of the story when she says, "Don't say I didn't warn you," it's about the pyramid that's in her throne world.
Yeah.
And the raid takes place in the throne world. Like in that pyramid. You go inside the pyramid and there's like literally a disciple of the Witness there, and you end up killing him because he's too like his ego's too high and he doesn't kill you in time. So anyway.
Do not recall.
So he was the first boss to actually fight back and have like actual movement around the map. So he's sick. But that what is that 11? And then
So there's a lot of raids. So it might be hard to
Nezarite,
get
12.
It might be hard to get one mechanic from every raid.
Yeah,
Because that would make quite the super raid.
Yeah.
But
mean
they could also get away with super raid if they're planning on dropping D3 after next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Because the problem is they don't want to they want to focus on Final Shape because it is the culmination of all of the narrative of the past 8 years. So they don't want to be like, all right, this is what's after that already. Like we don't want to give titles or anything. There's stuff after, but we can't say anything. So then people don't trust that and they're like, they're gonna give us D3 and make all of the stuff that we've done in D2 irrelevant. And I'm like, maybe, but I
think it'll
think
be
so.
I think it'll be like Overwatch 2, where it's just going to it'll still be because I think instead of calling it Destiny 3, I think they're gonna drop the 2. I think it's just gonna be called Destiny, and it's gonna be the overarching thing. They're gonna combine stuff from D1, keep most of D2, and then just keep building off of that. But they're just gonna drop the Destiny 2 number. Because I think that's a good way for them to rebrand it. Because Destiny 2, especially with launch, had a lot of
problems.
That had a lot of issues. People didn't like the way stuff was set up, and then Destiny 2 was the one that went free to play.
Yeah.
And so it keeps holding that weight. So I think that would be for them to rebrand it and just drop the 2 or call it like Destiny whatever.
Destiny Infinite or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's just okay. So the way that I understand it, after
I don't think they can do Infinite.
Well, no,
because
obviously not.
The 343 might
Yeah.
get mad, especially
It'd be
considering
upset.
where they come from.
Yeah. But what I mean by that is you're probably right, but I don't
Yeah.
think it'll be in the way that we expect it to be
Yeah.
because they've been working for the past few years on a new engine. Because they're still running off the Tiger engine from Halo Reach they built that in 2009. It is literal spaghetti code.
So we might just get a whole new title then.
I don't think we're
If
gonna
they're
get
running
a new
new
title.
engine, because that's the main reason why Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 split was because of the engine.
Yeah, but I don't think the way that they see it, they want to keep the same title. What they're doing is they're going to basically port everything over from the current engine to the new one. They're going to just make a transition.
So one day you're going to wake up, you're going to have a 200 gigabyte update.
Yeah, well, ideally, this game's gonna compact a lot because a lot of the reason it's so
please.
large.
Oh, it's because of the old.
Yeah, it's an old engine, so it's
So it's
all
got
written in
massive-
spaghetti code.
Yeah.
So
that's like one of the main reasons why I don't have it on my computer.
Yeah,
It's
it's
because it
huge.
is like 115 gigabytes. Like that's
Yeah.
obnoxiously large for a video game,
well, and that's also why they got rid of
especially a free to play video game.
yeah. So they started sunsetting because they thought we don't have enough space if we're going to keep on this engine. And then after a year of sunsetting, they were like, let's just get a new engine, and then we can not sunset anything. Like we don't have to get rid of content anymore, besides the seasonal stuff. Because if you're adding seasonal stuff and keeping it around, that's going to really bulk up. But if you do,
Wait, so that's why they like blew up Mars, and
uh,
Saturn, and all of them went away.
So
Was because
Mars IO and Titan went away because at the time they were the least used things and they needed to cut down because it was spaghetti code and that was what was breaking the game every time they made an update.
No,
Because it's spaghetti code.
Mars
So
was always my favorite.
it was so
POI.
good. That,
Yeah.
Like the D2 Mars was actually really fun. And they had that public event, the Warmind, like that was actually Escalation Protocol. That's what it was. That was fun. That was really fun.
Yep, I've spent many an hours doing those.
I
And
got
then
my
the,
catalyst
because
there.
well, to get the things for Sleeper,
You had to go
you
around.
had to do it,
Yeah.
but you had to do it in the heroic, so it had to get upgraded to heroic.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it by yourself, heroic is kind of painful. And
It's
if you're doing it with
practically impossible.
randoms, they don't activate heroic; they just
No.
end.
Yeah. They didn't understand.
And so half the time you're sitting there like, please, guys,
Yeah.
I need this. I have sat on this planet for 5 hours straight, waiting 20 minutes in between these events, and I'm getting like one key per hour.
Yeah.
Which when I need like 30 keys is a painful thought.
Yeah. Before they went away, like before the planets went away, because I knew they were going away, I got all of the collectibles off of each planet. Like all
Surely
the
they
so
have to give us access back to the planets so you can finish collectibles.
I low key think that once we get the new engine, they're really just gonna bring everything
That would
back.
be so sick to just
Like,
have
if-
every planet, every POI. I mean, like if Starfield can have 1,000 planets, why
Yeah.
can't Destiny have 6?
Well, even then, like, why can't we have all of like just give us from D1 all the way through? Like just campaign wise, why don't we just get everything?
I think
Once
they
it's
should.
back.
They should also find a way to make a linear route.
Yeah.
Like there should be like a newcomer playlist kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it should literally just be story mission after story mission after
They're
story
actually,
mission.
they're actually doing it.
That way, like you drop in on the Cosmodrome and you play that all the way through and up to right before like the final mission, right before Vault of Glass. So
Blackheart.
Blackheart.
Yeah.
And then that takes you directly into the moon stuff, which then takes you directly into what was Prison of Elders?
Venus. Venus, baby.
And then it brings you directly to the Venus stuff.
Yeah.
But I think Warframe kind of sucks with
really?
that. But they have one good thing.
Yeah.
where in the top, like, because like the Warframe map has all of the planets, and it's like 15 planets, and so looking at that is very daunting, and it's like that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But in the top right, they have the quests, and it tells you, like, it's a little box, and you just click that box, and it will just take you to the next mission of it, and it will auto launch it. So you don't have to find it. You don't have to
Actually, they're doing
do
something
stuff
like that.
So I think, yeah, if they get that through, I think that'll help new player experience, because right now I've played the game. I know how it works.
New
and to me,
players.
it's still spaghetti. Like,
Yeah.
I have no idea where I'm going. Like, I understand how the story missions work, but like beyond story missions, it's like there's nothing else to do, and I know how to grind, and I know what patrols are.
Yeah.
But like, there's no tutorial that like actively gets you that information.
Yeah. So what they have now is, and it's in the game right now, is if you track a quest, you can actually there's
I
a
know
button that
about
you
the
can
tracking.
auto
Yeah.
tracking, but then now you can track a quest, and if you can't find it, I think that if you go to just like your actual like if you're not on the map, and you go on your actual screen, you're able to press a button and it'll just auto queue the next like to launch into that thing.
Okay.
And then going from that to oh, what am I thinking? Going from that to where we're talking about like man, what am I losing here? I had something else. I forgot.
I don't know.
Like, 'cause you were talking about Warframe.
It's just it's
the
just
auto
those
queue.
these massive games that have been
Oh.
around for a long time. They just need to revamp their new player experience
Yeah.
and remember that people don't know the game, especially like the devs. Like, because I think the devs, there's a lot of things that they're going to omit. They're going to be like, "Oh, everyone understands this is a looter shooter. This is how looting shooting works." Then you have to remember that like half the people who are going to play Destiny had not played a looter shooter before.
Yeah. So what I remembered is actually so right now what they're doing for like a story recap, there's a recap mission for every expansion, free to play, and it gives you a weapon from that year. So like
It better be
Forsaken.
Ace of Spades.
So for Forsaken, it's not Ace, but it's Austringer.
Huh?
Because I was in Season of Opulence.
Never heard of Austringer.
Austringer?
Austringer? What is Austringer?
Okay, Austringer was a Season of Opulence copy of Aes Luna.
Oh, okay.
Before Aes Luna.
Yeah.
But it was better in some ways.
Now,
It got a little
yeah.
better handling.
Now I'm
Yeah.
remembering.
Yeah.
And
As
then
soon as I say Aes Luna, it's like, all right. I mean, why did I
as
say
an
that?
Xbox player, I'm very familiar with Hawk Moon and all of those.
That line of hand cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense. Like, why did Bungie was
with PlayStation?
but they were with 343 initially. Like a lot of the developers, it's like a Disney Pixar situation where a
no.
lot of them came from the Halo team and they were partnered with the Halo team, and then they started this game. So they worked
So-
exclusively. A lot of them worked with the Halo guys, and then they were like, because wasn't Bungie owned by Microsoft?
No, not at the time. So here's the problem. So what happened was Bungie was 343 didn't exist. Bungie was Bungie under Microsoft. They started working on Destiny, and then they got into some contract stuff with Microsoft. So they start talking to Activision. Activision says, "We'll help you build this game." And so Bungie loses the case to keep the Halo title, and then they shift over. And a lot of people that were still dedicated to Halo specifically stay at Microsoft and make 343. This is
Okay.
so then
Okay, I'm
Bungie.
I'm with you
yeah.
now.
So then Bungie tracks just on Destiny with
So
Activision. And
Bungie
Activision
made Halo, the
Yeah.
original stuff.
Yes.
And then
After Halo
they
3,
wanted to go to Activision, and Microsoft said, "Hey, we're the publishers."
well,
You can-
Microsoft also didn't treat them very nicely. So
Who does Microsoft treat nicely?
that's a very great point. What was the people that made Age of Empires made Halo Wars, and that was death hell for those guys.
Yeah, well,
That was real. I mean, it's a great game. I love that game, but
Halo Wars.
Halo Wars?
Oh, so you want to know what I found out yesterday?
What's up?
To play on, if you have it on Game Pass on PC,
Yeah.
you cannot play any of the Halo games without downloading the entire Master Chief Collection. Because I just wanted to play Reach, and Reach should be like maybe 6 to 10 gigabytes, not big game.
Yeah, but then you have to download.
But
the
I have
whole
to
collection.
download the entire collection of every Halo game to be released, other than like the Halo Wars and the ODST.
Yeah, no, ODST's in the game in collection now.
Is it now?
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
only ones that aren't are the RTS games.
Oh, but basically, that is 130 gigabytes.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
And once you get into the game, like you download the 130 gigabytes, and you can go in and you can choose if you want to uninstall certain games.
Yeah.
And reinstall them later.
But you still
But
have
you
to.
have to install all of them to do that.
Yeah.
But if you're on console,
you can choose.
You can download just the Master Chief Collection, which is just the UI for the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Which is like 2 gigs, and then from there choose which one you want to do.
Yeah, it acts as a
Like-
launcher on console.
Yeah, why can't I install just the launcher? Because I just wanted to play Reach
Yeah.
with one of my friends. We got bored and we were like, Reach would be fun. And then I start downloading it, and I'm like, that's a little weird that it says 138 gigabytes, right? That doesn't seem right to me.
No, Reach is just a huge game.
Yeah, I guess Reach was massive.
Yeah.
You know what? Made in 2011,
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Because 4 came out in 13, 14. Because 5 came out in 15 or 16.
Yeah, and then there was a huch drought.
And then Infinite came out in 21, 22.
21.
Yeah, I think it's 21.
Yeah.
Because of
20 might have been fall 20.
So we got to wait 7 more years for the Halo game. Is that what I'm hearing?
Maybe. I don't know. They do okay, but Halo Infinite looks like they're adding PvE, like firefight or something.
Oh, like the Halo 5 thing?
Yeah.
The Halo 5 thing was so cool. Like the ground war for Halo 5, that was done well.
Yeah.
And I think a lot more games need to do that. Those PvP games, I think, because that's what made Titanfall so good was attrition.
Yeah.
Because you could be awful at the game. You could be one of the worst Titanfall players ever, but you are still going to beat the bots. And so you're doing things, you're doing stuff throughout the game, so you don't feel like you're constantly just getting demolished by other players because
you're actually doing
right, because it's technically 6v6, but the map is really big, and constantly they're dropping in like ground troops for both sides.
Yeah.
And each ground troop is worth a certain amount of points, and a pilot is worth a certain amount of points too.
Mhm.
But like there were games where I would purposefully avoid ever fighting another player and just farm out as
Yeah.
much attrition points. And you can end the game with like 150 attrition points. You can be the top person in the entire lobby, and you never won a gunfight against another player.
Yeah.
And so it felt good. It played well, but you didn't have to be good. So like matchmaking didn't really matter as much. I mean, like sure there was still some, but like it's not going to feel as awful as like a Call of Duty match if it's horribly unbalanced.
Yeah.
I think what I'm saying is I want Titanfall 3 to come.
I want Titanfall 3.
I think they need to hit season 20 in Apex and then stop Apex.
Yeah.
Or slow way down. However, I think I've been hearing rumblings about Titanfall 3 stuff or Titanfall-esque, like another Titanfall IP.
Yeah.
And I can't tell if it's copium or if it's real. Because I think some of them
There's enough
people that are talking about it where it's like it would be weird that all these people are talking about it, especially with how much the industry has been like, hey, we want movement shooters back, like give us these
Yeah.
hyper movement shooters back, like Black Ops 3, like Titanfall. So it'd be weird that the developers don't listen to that
Yeah.
first off, because like especially the Call of Duty stuff, people are kind of over Call of Duty. And so Call of Duty has to listen to what player base wants and
Yeah.
do what player base wants. And so I think after Modern Warfare 3, what we have do they still have the plan for the 2-year break?
I don't know.
Or they kind of worked it out so they
So-
don't have to take a break anymore.
What's wild about it all is the only place that we actually heard that they were taking a 2-year break was a news article from a half trustworthy leak site, and then that ended up getting absolutely way too much attention. So then everybody expected.
Oh, well, and also, like, I think it's also because the certain developers were taking breaks. I mean,
Yes.
they had longer to develop their game because they
yeah.
alternated different, because
Yeah.
they swapped it up. Then now Treyarch gets to have. Well, is Treyarch doing Modern Warfare 3?
No.
Treyarch
They're
hasn't
doing-
done
like,
a game
they're-
since Vanguard, right?
They didn't do Vanguard.
Oh, that's
They did Cold War.
Raven. Yeah, Raven did.
No, Sledge did.
Sledgehammer.
So Sledgehammer.
So they
did-
haven't. Wait, Treyarch hasn't done a game since Cold War.
Yeah.
So the next Treyarch game is about to go crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's what, 4 years.
Yeah. That's what I've been saying. That's what I'm like, dude. We're giving Treyarch
I don't-
extra, like we're giving them 4 years.
Because the normal cycle was 2, wasn't it?
3. Because
Because
Sledge-
Sledgehammer
yeah.
wasn't really in that mix. They were
Well,
kind of
not
but
the OG time, but they were like, so they half helped with MW3 like
Oh, so you're
2011.
okay. So you're talking about the
Yeah. But then after that, so we got BO2, then Infinity Ward did Ghosts, and then it was Advanced Warfare. And then it was BO3 IW, then it was World War II. So it's
The
a
last,
3-year
like-
cycle to Sledgehammer games.
The last 7, though, they haven't really done that because it was Black Ops 3, which went into Infinite
IW,
Warfare.
yeah. So World War II, which is Sledgehammer.
I forgot
So,
about World War
World
II.
War II,
That game
yeah.
was a Mickey Mouse game. It didn't exist.
So then it was World War II, and then it was
They did it when everyone else was making World War II games.
Yeah.
And so it just died because it was the most mid of them all.
And we got BO4 right after World War II.
BO4 was fine.
It was fine.
I didn't have many gripes. Like, here's what it is. It's kind of like Husker football, right?
Here we go.
You don't realize what you had until it's gone.
Yeah.
Because like we had the early 2010s where we were still 9-3, 9.
It can't get any worse
8
than
and
this.
3, and we're like, oh my gosh, guys, we need to fire this coach now. Like we are making so many mistakes, and then you look at us now, and it's like, man, I could go back to that. And that's how I feel about Call of Duty games. Is people really crapped on Black Ops 3, really crapped on Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
Even Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare. Like all of those, that middle chunk, everyone's like, this is not what we want. This is awful. And then we got Modern Warfare 2019, which was a good game.
It was all right.
And then Cold War was also okay. And then Vanguard, I did not enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, MW2
Vanguard
was
felt
terrible.
like someone copy pasted Cold War into a different engine. So it was like, this is not a new game. This is just garbage. And then we went into where we are now. So I think a Black Ops 5, or however they're going to reset the series, needs to be a movement shooter.
Yeah.
But on that note, we will be back after a short break.
Acres, your John Deere dealers, offering hot financing on all new compact tractors. For a limited time, get 0% interest for 84 months when you buy any new John Deere compact tractor. And with a variety of attachments, you'll make quick work of chores around your acreage. From mowing to grading and moving large loads, Acres has a John Deere tractor to handle your toughest projects. Don't delay. Visit your local Acres store to take advantage of this great offer. Acres, solutions for every field. Offer expires September 30th, 2023, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
Tailored Lights is your go-to local manufacturer and installer of the best landscape lighting. Tailored Lights is excited to highlight the architecture of your home or business and provide a warm environment that feels safe. And for those outside the Lincoln area, they do ship across the country and are happy to work with anyone near or far with lights anywhere from 18 inches to 110 inches. Enhance your feel with an exquisite tailored light today. Call 402-432-2572 or go to tailoredlights.com.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
45, 55, 55. John Henry's coming.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC. Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Coppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check out, we got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM certified used inventory is filling up fast. So make that money-saving drive to Coppel. It's just south of the interstate or online at coppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
It's August, and that means summer is winding down and the kids are back to school with lots of fall activities coming up. All great things, but also lots of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of it all with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages. Deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Sports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. It is the last 30 minutes, and they're going to be the best 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Sam. I am the production manager and Overwatch game manager.
I'm Jaden. I am the Call of Duty game manager.
And this has been an aggressively Destiny podcast.
It really has. This
It started off as football, and it just kind of devolved into Destiny. And right there at the end, we started covering a little bit of Call of Duty stuff.
Yeah.
It was mostly just me re-preaching my I want hyper movement back, because that was fun, and it gave you something to work towards.
When they up the pace of everything.
Yeah,
because
and
now
then-
we're pace locked a lot of the time.
Yeah, and then when I hear about like Modern Warfare 3, and people are like, "Guys, we're getting our movement we're getting big movements back." I'm like, "That's you're
Buddy.
slide canceling.
Yeah,
That's not a movement.
that's not a wedge slide.
That's
you know
an
what I mean?
accident last week. That was an accident last year that turned into a major part of the game.
Yeah,
And then, or 2019, there's an accident in 2019 where it was a bug, and they went, "Wait a minute, this is kind of busted."
Yeah.
And they called it a mechanic afterwards, and then they took it away, and now they're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Like if the main feature of the game is something that you took away,
yeah.
First off, it doesn't bode well for me. Like I don't have high hopes for Modern Warfare 3 because that's the stuff that they're focusing on. They're like, "Guys,
Yeah.
we got slide canceling coming back," and it's like, cool, but like that's not what Call of Duty is about. So I'd want to know like I'd rather hear that I'd rather hear all the Makarov stuff, and I'd rather hear all the story stuff, or I'd rather hear, okay, we have these weapons coming in, or we're taking a new spin. So rather than Modern Warfare, it'll be like Black Ops 2, where we're gonna jump 6 years into the future.
Yeah.
From where we are now. So it is still modern, but it's a little bit more funky. It's a little bit more imaginative. What could Modern Warfare look like rather than this is what Modern Warfare looks like? We've gotten a lot of this is what Modern Warfare looks like between the first 3 Modern Warfare games and then the 2019 Modern Warfare game and then Modern Warfare 2. and then Battlefield 4, and I think that's why Battlefield 5 looked good on the outside because it was just a little bit in the future. Not 5, Battlefield 2020, 2042.
It looked
'Cause
good.
it was enough in the future that it didn't feel spacey. It wasn't like, oh, this is not ever going to happen.
Yeah.
But I enjoy 2042. I don't know if you play it.
I do every now and then.
Once
It's actually
they-
it feels good now.
Once they re-optimized and they fixed all
Everything.
of the awfulness that was the launch of that game, it's a good
Yeah.
game now. Like
It is.
I think a new season starts like this week.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if I think there's a new character in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Neat.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but no. It feels really good. I feel like it's it's got the soul of Battlefield 4 in that
Yeah.
way. It feels really good.
Yeah.
I think it's so hard for me because I'm such a guy for Battlefield 1. Like that was my game.
I preferred 5 over 1.
Really?
Yeah. I felt like it was all the good things of 1 on a newer engine that ran better and looked better.
Fair.
Because 1 was cool. Like the only thing that I think the only mechanic that I wish that they would have brought into 5 was the bayonet dash.
Yeah.
Like that was the only thing that I felt like this is missing from the two games. But I just
Fair.
felt like 5 it just felt smoother. It felt like it ran better.
Yeah.
I'm also not a big fan of like Conquest. Like I don't like vehicle maps. So the
Yeah.
2042 Breakthrough I really enjoy because there's maybe 3 vehicles in the entire course of the map. And so I don't have to worry about the dude who, instead of playing War Thunder, is flying the AC-130 and just dominating everyone.
Yeah.
And I just don't get to play the game because of it. Because everyone forgets that there's an engineer class and you can shoot
Yeah.
rockets at the thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
no, I really preferred Battlefield 1 over 5 because of the way that it felt, the grandness of it all. And at least for me, it felt more cinematic. And with like the operations, like the huge, like multi procedure map, just like you're moving from stage to
I
stage.
can get it. It had a much more movie feel.
Yeah.
It felt more like you're watching a movie, and
Yeah.
it was a little bit slower,
And I was okay with that.
and it was slow in a good way. But I don't know. There's good and bads.
Yeah, no,
The
I agree.
Battlefield series never really misses. They just aren't always on.
They aren't always fully on.
Right. They have a good idea, and it seems like they just don't quite execute it all the way. Like 2042
Yeah.
was a good idea, and then at launch,
It missed.
because it missed so bad, and it took them 3 months to make it not miss. I think 2042 would have been a big game. I think it would have bordered on Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 kind of levels of hype and play times and all that.
Yeah.
But because the beginning of the game was so unplayable, it doesn't see that anymore.
That's also something to note real quick is how the beginning of a game can change it, even if the game
Yeah.
improves itself. And while there's the argument of, you shouldn't release an unfinished game, that kind of thing, and I get that, it's really interesting that there's only a couple examples of a redemption for that kind of a game.
Yeah. But I also think it can go the other way, where the beginning of a game can be so fantastic that people put up with the second half of a game. And that's kind of like Overwatch, where the beginning of Overwatch, the first 3-4 years were fantastic, and then they just stopped doing anything.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of put up with it and was like, don't worry, guys, this is a crazy developer. They've got Overwatch 2 coming out any day now. And then 6 years later, we were like, any day now, guys. And then 7 years later, we were like, oh, here it is.
Yeah.
And I think the same for me is with Destiny, where Destiny 1 was such a fantastic game and it started to fall off when they started messing with stuff in that early Destiny 2 time.
Yeah.
And then they changed the model and everything, and it killed it for me, and I'm sure it killed it for others.
It definitely did. And I think the other
And
thing to
so,
note
yeah.
about live services is how heavy burnout can affect that game.
Yeah.
Because that's something that, like a game that is alive for 9 years plus, you're gonna run into burnout. And I feel like a lot of the old heads also fell in love with it for different reasons than newer people did.
Yeah, respectfully, I think would rather go back to the new release model, the sequel model, than a live service model. I think it
Yeah.
doesn't work. I think it doesn't work for every game, and we've implemented it into every game.
Yeah,
I think it works well for the battle royales like
Yeah.
Apex and like Fortnite and Warzone. Like the live service of that
Yeah.
aspect works well because it doesn't really matter what game it's tied to. It doesn't, it's got its own set of weapons. It does its own thing.
Yeah.
But like, it's like the one thing that Call of Duty has been doing right with the yearly releases.
Yeah.
But then they try to keep us going. So I think, I don't know. It's weird because like I know you have to have development time, and then you can't really just react on, okay, this game's receiving well, so let's just live service this one for a while, and then we'll start the next one.
Mhm.
Because it does take 2 to 3 years to make a good video game.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I feel like they were always a little bit better when games would just drop and then drop and then drop, because it also felt like there was more games to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like, you can play a bunch of Destiny, or you can play a bunch of Warframe, or you can play a bunch of, I'm trying to think of the major live service games that have been going on for a long time, but mostly like after a while those can get stale.
Yeah.
And then even when they add new content, you go to it. The new content's kind of fun for a little bit, but then it gets to that stale phase a lot faster because there's nothing inherently new about it. There's no major new mechanics. There's no new changes where it's like, wow, I like this. There's
Yeah.
no real big engine changes usually in a live service game. So
Yeah.
it doesn't feel any different. And so I think, I don't know, I feel like that's part of the gamer burnout we're going through, where just games aren't fun anymore, and
Yeah.
it feels like there's so many games, but there's no choices, and that's just because there are so many games, but they're all live service, and so the really good ones really dominate whatever market they're in.
Yeah.
And then it's
And-
hard for someone to do something else. Like, what was the I don't wanna Hyperscape. It was a battle royale game. It was, like, super futuristic, and it used, like, abilities, and you would upgrade your weapons, like, by crafting and whatnot.
Hmm.
It was kinda cool, but because Apex and Fortnite were similar enough, they just dominated the market, and it never really took off. It was Ubisoft's
Oh,
it was
yeah,
Ubisoft's
yeah,
battle
yeah.
royale.
I get you now.
And it just never took off because the other 2 major live services were good.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, I don't know if it's that they're running out of genres to choose, or if no one wants to get creative and they all wanna play it safe and go, "This works, so let's do this." But
I think a lot of corporate, right, is taking the safe route because they know that people will buy a battle pass.
Yeah,
They
and
know
they
that
know
people will
like,
buy some
Activision knows
crazy-
everyone is going to buy a Call of Duty game. They know as soon as they drop it, they could be the worst Call of Duty game they've ever made, and they'll still make $80 million.
Yeah. Maybe the next one is better.
Right.
Maybe.
And so everyone, I think Modern Warfare 3 will have some upsides. I think if I had to guess, they're not gonna do anything good. They are going to hit nostalgia pretty hard for this
Yeah.
game, and that's gonna be the main goal of this game, is to hit nostalgia very hard.
That's what
That
they
way,
said.
there's not much to complain about. And then they'll have their next game come out, and it'll be something new. But then, like, because it was kind of not that it was last minute, I'm sure it wasn't last minute at all for them.
No.
But, like, I'm sure it wasn't part of the original plan to do Modern Warfare 2 directly into Modern Warfare 3. Like, there was probably something in the middle that was supposed to be there. So I think they just hit fan service really hard, and then people won't be upset, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, "This is a good way to hold me over because, I get to be the sniper on the bridge and accidentally." Oh, that was Black Ops. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost just
Uh,
spoiled the entire
The entire
the
Black
entire
Ops.
Black Ops.
Yeah. No. So that's what they kind of said they're doing, and we already.
Oh, look at that. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that, and so I think I should just be a
Yeah.
game dev now.
Probably.
Just put me, and make me Bobby Kotick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I could run the
You could
heck
be-
out of some Activision.
Yeah.
I
No,
could-
so then Treyarch is doing they're doing a new Black Ops game.
Are they?
and
Do we know anything about that at all, or is it
Yes.
just that it is Black Ops?
we know a little bit of it.
Was it Treyarch that did the zombies for this game?
Treyarch's doing the zombies for MW3.
Okay, that's why.
And they're
That's
doing
why I
ranked.
thought Treyarch was
Yeah.
part of it.
And well,
because they're
so yeah, they're kind of getting sections of them that are helping
Well,
other games.
I mean,
so like they're
Treyarch
doing
should be
ranked.
the-
They're doing ranked multiplayer.
Interesting.
Like
Treyarch
they
should be
did
the
last year,
only
too.
team doing zombies, though.
Yeah.
Anyone who's ever tried to, any of the other companies that have tried, because what Raven tried to do zombies,
Sledge tried to.
Sledge tried to do zombies, and it was
Infinite
just
Warfare
fine.
did, and it worked out okay. Like
Yeah.
IW Zombies was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same. But this next game, what we know through leaks, so take it with a grain of salt.
Leaks or like
leaks.
Oh, I guess they can't
Yeah.
data mine because they don't
Yeah.
have the game.
Yeah,
Never mind.
leaks.
Okay.
So leaks that have kind of gone around have said that the next game will be a Desert Storm game set in like 90s. So it's going to be like Cold
Nah,
War. It's going to be like
man.
Cold War 2.
Why?
Well,
Cold War.
Let's take a second here, all right? Because I know you want hyper movement and Treyarch's the people to do it, but this game was in development before the demand for hyper movement really came back 4 years ago.
I know, but Cold War to me was not good enough of a game to warrant a sequel, and it already got a sequel in Vanguard. So
Yeah,
now we're doing the
but
third
the problem
game.
is, but here's the problem is that with everything right now in terms of COD, they're narratively all doing the same narrative. So it's hard for Treyarch to go, we're gonna make a hyper movement jetpack game, even if it was like Black Ops 3.5. Because then they'd have to have a timeline that's all from like 1945 to suddenly like 2145. But everything besides Black Ops 3.5 would be from 1945 to 2020.
But to me, that's how they make money. Because then the boots on the ground people get their boots on the ground games, and then the hyper movement people get their hyper movement games.
Yeah.
And you just kind of alternate like that. And then as one of them starts to fall off, then you start to lean more into the development of the other side. And
Yeah.
you just kind of do that.
But
Because then you always have something good, and you don't have the Battlefield 1 World War II era where every company made a
same.
World War II game on
Yeah.
accident or World War I game, because literally they all did it, and they did it for like 2 games in succession. They all did
They all
like
had the
this
same-
chunk of like
yeah.
what was it, 2017 to 2018?
Battlefield 1 was 2015, pretty sure.
Was it? I
So
thought-
like
no, that's
yeah.
16.
No, 16?
I think it was 16.
Well, that would have
So
been
maybe
Infinite Warfare.
2016 to like 2018 was just all
Well, yeah,
because people got tired of
Yeah.
In the Sky and they all threw a fit. So then I think every developer went
Yeah.
boots on the ground right now. World War II is good boots on the ground, and
Yeah.
I'm afraid of the market doing that again.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll look up some dates and we'll figure some stuff out, and we'll come right back for the last few minutes.
Best Vape Shop
Generation V.
is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
Locations in Lincoln, Seward, York, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all. Pets to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing. If you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second.
Where's the Fuhrer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Fuhrer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores. The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you anything Southern when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery, online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
This is Big Red Esports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We got about 5 minutes left, so we're going to close out with some closing thoughts on, I guess, we talked so much about Destiny today. There's not like a ton to go back and say without rehashing the entire thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of Destiny. We talked about football. Jaden's very hopeful. I think we just reverse psychology them into winning games where we go, oh, guys, I don't even care about Husker football anymore. And then they'll start winning.
Maybe.
But we'll see about that. And then the Destiny talk began for the next hour and a half of our 2-hour show. So,
yeah.
I mean, what can I say?
I think, so I guess we should probably close out with some kind of things for the future, I suppose. So next week, it doesn't seem like we'll have a show just because of the timing with Husker football. We'll get confirmation on that. And I mean, you'll see when we get to this time. And hell, it's going to be during the game. So I don't think we're going to really I don't think it'll be much of a problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be watching the game.
And then also I'm going to be gone for the
Yeah.
next 5 weeks starting next Saturday.
Yeah.
Possibly longer because my Overwatch season plays during the show's time. So I'll be doing that, sitting in lobbies and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. And then,
yeah, and that should hopefully, because I'm the first one and I'm also the production manager, those should all be streamed. The stream types might change because I have to get the other team to agree to certain terms.
Yeah.
And then what else is there any teams that are running tryouts right now? I think Valorant just closed theirs.
Valorant ran
or it closes on
some,
Sunday.
and then League has theirs soon, I think, right? Like that's soon.
Yeah. I think
Seasons
Rainbow
for a lot of
Six
people
should be
soon.
open soonish.
Yeah. So Rainbow, League, there's Valorant. A lot of those seasons start soon. I think Call of Duty is going to be at the end of that because we're starting our season with college. I think it's CXP, College XP League. We start that in November, like right after the new game comes out by about a week. So you'll hear from us. We'll be around. It's just going to be a little bit less often just because of this time block is during a lot of those big noon kickoffs that we seem to get all the time. Because, man, I love football at 11 a.m. You know what I'm saying? That's great.
Yeah. Wake up at 9 to
We're
get
so
to the
fortunate.
stadium.
Yeah. I can't wait for that Michigan game at 11. It's going to be great. But, yeah, I don't really have too much more to really give any post on, any set time. There's no notices really. It's just Sam. Wish luck this guy and his team. I think they're gonna run it. You guys will make a good run in that tourney and get a good start to your
Definitely,
season.
I think it'll be definitely better than previous seasons.
Yeah.
So,
That's
and I've got a fair amount of scholarships players, which is also kind of cool.
Yeah.
Scholarships, at least this season, were only available to transfers or freshmen. But yeah, I have kind of a stacked roster. So
Yeah, I'm excited to see it in action.
yeah,
I'm going to be watching.
And then we'll have a good Overwatch team. We'll have a good Call of Duty team, and then maybe Valorant. I haven't seen anything about the Valorant stuff. I know a couple years ago they were real solid, but then
Yeah,
a
they
lot
were
of them
really-
graduated or transferred.
Yeah,
So,
those guys were like a regional powerhouse.
yeah.
Yeah. So either way, we will hopefully return soon, but that depends on some game times. I think Colorado next week. We won't be on. We should have time before the Northern Illinois game gets overweight because that's a night game. And then I don't know when Louisiana Tech starts. I don't think that's been disclosed yet. So
schedule says TBA.
Yeah, okay. So that's going to be something that we just kind of have to play by ear. Hopefully, by the time we get to Northern Illinois, we'll be able to greet you in that new studio. So that should be the next time that we're together. So I guess it's crazy to say, but we'll see you in that new studio.
Yeah, probably.
Go Big
Anyways,
Red.
have a lovely Saturday. And remember that just because Husker football lost doesn't mean you can't still have fun this weekend.
Thank you.